Hello, good people of Fort Smith. It's Give Me 5 minutes with Fort Smith City Director Neil Martin, where we talk about the events that happened last week and we look ahead at what's going on this week. So let's go ahead and get after it. Give me 5. We did not have a meeting this past Tuesday. There were snowstorms. It was blowing pretty heavily at the time, so the meeting ended up getting canceled and will be put at some time in the future. So we'll talk about it when it comes, but just know that it will happen again. This week, we have a meeting, another study session at the Blue Line, 101 North 2nd Street. That'll be this Tuesday. And we've got a few items on our agenda, and you need to pay attention to these. First off, we've got a special meeting. We're actually going to be doing some voting, and this is to paint a water tower. It's ArcBest's 100-year anniversary. They've come to the city and they've asked us to paint a water tower. Now, these water tower paintings are already on schedule. They're already a part of our capital improvement plan process. So this was already scheduled to be done. However, we're entering an agreement with them where they're going to pay for it up front. They're going to put their logo on it. It'll look pretty cool. So when dignitaries and folks are in town for celebration of their 100 years, the logo out by the headquarters will say ArcBest, and it'll look really nice for them. They'll pay for it up front. The city will reimburse them. Then we'll enter in a cleaning agreement for the next 10 years to get the water tower clean. So that's the first thing that we're going to be voting on in a special meeting. Then we're going to move into a study session. And this is what I want you to pay attention to. First off is the discussion of initiation of a water rate study. So this is something we've been hearing about lately, especially as Act 605, passed by the Arkansas legislature back in 2021, has mandated rate studies. And what that means to me is water rates are going up. Now, we're working with our legislators, and I encourage you to reach out to our state legislators about doing something about Act 605. But as it stands right now, Act 605 is still in place. But we are going to discuss water rate studies and see what's going on. We've got 2 different water capital improvement plans for anywhere for 10 years, anywhere from $378 million to $427 million. That's over 10 years. That is impactful for you. So I encourage you to watch. I encourage you to pay attention. And I encourage you to communicate with your directors. We'll also be talking about a discussion regarding water utility fee schedules. There's a number of different fees that have shown up in various audits and in various other places that we are not charging, or the city says we're not charging enough. So we will be looking at that, having a discussion around that. So 2 big items that could affect you personally. Could affect your water bill, could affect fees you pay, could affect developers that are building houses, which would ultimately be passed on to home buyers. So a lot of things that I think you need to pay attention to as we meet. Now, you can look at all this information if you go to fortsmithar.gov, hover over government, and then click on Board of Directors meeting information. There you can look at the full agenda, which will include this capital improvement plan, this 10-year capital improvement plan. You can watch previous meetings. You can look at agendas of previous meetings, look at how your director voted for previous meetings. But I encourage you, pay attention to this. This is going to be important for all of us. That's it for this week's Give Me 5. I hope the information was informative and made you better aware of items in front of your board of directors. And always remember that it is your board of directors. We'll do this again next week on Give Me 5.